Hi, my name is May Smith, and this is my story from Jesus. So I grew up in a Christian home. Most people have heard this story like 1,000 times, and I always loved Jesus. I always wanted to follow him and things like that. I did follow him up to a point, but as I got older, I realized that there were other things in my life that I wanted more than Jesus, and those things were like sin. And when I was like 12, I was 13 at this point. I was 13, and even though I'd known Jesus all my life, and I said I loved him, I told him in that moment that I hated him, and I didn't want anything to do with him in my life. And that's so horrible, and I hate that I ever said that to him. But when I was, about a week later, there was a lady in my life that was like kind of pouring into me a lot, discipling me. Her name was Aisha, and she told me that, well, she just asked me how I was doing, and I lied to her and said I was okay. And then she was like, no, but really, how are you doing? And I was like, well, actually, I told Jesus that I hate him. And she was like, oh, wow, like, that's kind of crazy. And she just talked to me a lot. I don't remember anything of what she said, unfortunately. But I do remember her praying over me. And while she was praying over me, I felt a spiritual battle over me. And I felt like the devil was pulling me one way, and then the Lord wanted me. And, like, it was just so weird, and I just kind of pushed that out of my mind. I didn't really think about it, but when we were done praying. And then a week after that, I was going to a Do Hard Things conference, and I told my friends that I was only going there because I wanted to meet other people, and I didn't really want to know that much about Jesus, and I was just kind of like, whatever. And then when I got there, the Lord convicted me of my sin by some of the things that the hosts, the speakers, said. I don't really remember what they were, but the Lord did really convict me. And the host asked if anyone wanted to give their hearts to the Lord. I said yes, and then they said, like, okay, well, like, this is usually the part where, like, the speaker, whoever's talking or whatever, will say, like, bow your head and close your eyes and say a prayer. They were like, we're not going to do that. We're going to have you stand up and say Jesus is Lord. And I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy, because everyone I know is like right beside me. Everyone I respect is right beside me, and they all think I'm Christian. So then I prayed, and I was like, God, if you want me doing this, then you have to have 2 people stand up that I respect. And they did, and I don't really know those people anymore, but the Lord used them in that moment to really reach out to me and really minister to me, and make me take that final step and say, Jesus is Lord. So I stood up and I said it, and then afterwards I got prayed over, and that night the Lord really worked in my heart, and he had me go through some journals that were like burned books, and I would just write horrible things about people in them, just say like the most nasty things, and the Lord had me rip them out and throw them away, and just really worked in my heart. And to this day, the Lord's still growing in me. I'm nowhere near perfect, but he has taken me so far from a hateful and spiteful little girl to a woman that just loves him so much. And he is going to do amazing things in my life, and that only will come about the less I am filled with myself and the more I'm filled with him. So thank you guys for letting me share my story, and that's it.